of Scott Avenue in Tyler. Also through this investigation, it was learned that the decedent was known to have gotten his haircut by Spencer the day he died. On October 28, 2024, the autopsy and toxicology report was received from Forensic Medical of Texas at Tyler. The cause of death was listed as mixed alprazolam, diazepam, codeine, and fentanyl toxicity. Based on the medical examiner's report, the cause of death was actually fentanyl toxicity. On November 19th, Spencer was arrested and booked into Smith County Jail for possession of controlled substance in penalty group 1 from 1 to 4 grams, suspected cocaine. Second charge, possession of controlled substance in penalty group 1, 1 to 4 grams of suspected methamphetamine, and manufacture and delivery of a controlled substance in penalty group 1, 4 to 200 grams, suspected fentanyl tablets. The tablets were described as light blue in color and stamped with a M30 marking. He was also charged with possessing those fentanyl tablets in the jail facility because he was searched upon entering the facility, and probably about 800 tablets were found tucked away on his person. On November 20, 2024, Spencer was transported to the Smith County Sheriff's Office to be interviewed by detectives. Spencer was given his Miranda warning and consented to an interview with detectives. During the interview, Spencer made admissions to purchasing the pills on the previous night with cash and a cash out. Spencer also admitted to having purchased fentanyl pills at least on 4 previous occasions within the past couple of months. Spencer also admitted to having previously sold M30 fentanyl pills to Michael Crone, but that Mike had previously died. On November 20th, Smith County Sheriff's Office Detective Nathan McMillan presented a probable cause affidavit to the Honorable 241st State District Court Judge Debbie Gunter. Judge Gunter issued an arrest warrant charging Calvin Spencer with the state offense of murder, 19.02A4 of the Penal Code, a first-degree felony. Judge Gunter set Spencer's bond for the offense of murder at $1 million. Calvin Spencer remained in the Smith County Jail until yesterday evening when he bonded out on $50,000 worth of bonds. But he remains in jail on the new charge as of 9 o'clock a.m. this morning. He was rearrested by detectives. More drugs and more firearms were seized this morning, along with 1,000 fentanyl pills. Early yesterday evening, Calvin Spencer posted bonds, as I just said, of $50,000. And 2 handguns, 1,000 fentanyl tablets, and his cell phone was seized. And he does remain in Smith County Jail at this time with a $1 million bond for the offense of murder. And I'll take any questions you have at this time. Yes, ma'am.
I hope I'm recalling this correctly, but the M30 tablets, is that in connection with the last fentanyl overdose that happened?
Yes. Yes, good question. The M30 tablet has M30, it's a round tablet. It has M30 stamped on it, M-30, I believe. And these are manufactured with a pill press in Mexico. And they mix fentanyl with it because it's less expensive. But unfortunately, as I've talked in the past press conferences about, there's no quality control. And it takes the size of about a pinhead to be fatal. So that's what we're dealing with.
How does this compare to other fentanyl cases you've dealt with in the past?
Well, this one just had the opportunity to make bond, $50,000 bond, and goes right straight back into the business and has firearms and fentanyl again. It's just, some people will never learn. And unfortunately, for these people that are the end user of this, unfortunately, they've already gotten where they think they have to have the fentanyl pills or the methamphetamine, the cocaine, the hydrocodone or Oxycontin or whatever. So they're hooked. You could tell them 10 times today that's going to kill them one of these days. They have a tablet out there marked with their name on it if they just keep going. But you can tell them that till the cows come home, and it doesn't faze them. we've got to get to the people dealing this poison, and we've got to put a stop to it.
You said that he admitted and you guys knew that he was selling the M30s or the fentanyl pills to him in the past, but we know that those are the exact pills I killed him that he had on him. Those were from Calvin.
It's hard to say, but because he came up with this new batch, and they usually come noted to have come in the 1,000 pill packets. So this new one he had is 1,000, and I think there was about I believe it was 600 to 800 left in the one last time when Mr. Crone succumbed to it. So it's difficult to say if he had more stashed somewhere and he only keeps so much out to supply, and then he goes to get some more, because he sure got it quick yesterday. He just made bond late yesterday evening, and this morning he was restocked, ready to open for business.
So is this investigation, is this thing over?
Oh no, by no means is it over. It's just there could be further arrests made. We've got the cell phones, as I've said, and we'll get a warrant to view everything on their cell phone, their social media and things of that, their contacts, to see if they link up with any other overdose deaths or whatever, which is how we get started investigating one once it's a fatality.
Are we seeing an increase in fentanyl cases in East Texas?
It's hard to say if we're seeing an increase in fentanyl deaths in Texas, or if we're just law enforcement is just finally everybody is all in trying to put a stop to it. I think that's a little bit of it. It's got a lot of attention over the past several months for good reason. A lot of loved ones never come out of it once they use it the first time. And it's sad. Until you sit in a bedroom with parents of a 17-year-old kid, and he died in his sleep from using fentanyl. You just can't fathom what it does to families, tears up families, and ruins people's lives, just like any hard drug does.
Do you have a message to people who are dealing this drug?
I'll give them the same message I gave here several months ago when I gave another press conference like this. If you deal with fentanyl in Smith County, you might not get caught today, you might not get caught tomorrow, but you're going to get caught, and you're going to pay the piper when you do. We have great prosecution here with Mr. Putman in his office with the district attorney, and we're going to also use other avenues, and expect us to, in the near future, to be utilizing the United States Department of Justice to also prosecute in federal court.
Are we also looking for who's supplying Calvin with the fentanyl pills?
Yeah, absolutely. That and that things like that usually come about by text messages off of his phone, or just finding a phone number on there and finding out who the subscriber to that phone number is. It gives us a place to start, and so that's what we'll be looking at. A lot of things. It's just now really starting again. When we have all that documentation, any notes that we might have gotten from his house or his previous arrest, and who all else that he sold drugs to. And also this could be, depending on how many people we find, it could be in engaging in organized criminal activity, which would make the charge even more severe.
So when Spencer was taken into custody and you seized the 1,000 fentanyl tablets in the cellular phone size, I guess, is that a normal number that you would find on somebody? Like, can you tell us a little bit about that number that was?
Well, the 1,000 is usually what they've got a name for it, and I can't recall it right now. When they buy 1,000, it's got a name. When you go order it, this is what I need, and they know that's 1,000 fentanyl tablets. So apparently, if he had 1,000 on him, He hadn't had an opportunity yet to sell any of them after getting out of jail and acquiring them sometime last night or early this morning.
What's the maximum sentence that could come out of these?
Well, it's 5 to 99 or life on the murder part, and each first degree felony is 5 to 99 or life, and the second is 2 to 20, and it goes down from there.
This might be a tough question, but I mean, based on the medical examiner's report, it says that they ruled the death as a fentanyl toxicity. I mean, but there's a elixir or cocktail of all these different kind of drugs. What kind of pointed that out? The fentanyl itself.
Well, there was what they do in a post-mortem investigation autopsy is they go into the bone, maybe the femur, into the bone and extract and find out the amount of fentanyl, the percentage, and that's where they get how much toxicity there was in a post-mortem situation. So what I'm getting at is if you take the amount of fentanyl taken from the femur, and they do the quantitative, and if that alone will be enough to kill someone, then it's fentanyl toxicity. Just forget about other drugs. But many times, if you'll remember, the fentanyl is mixed with all different kinds of drugs. So it can be in methamphetamine, it can be on Oxycontin, oxycodone, just anything, Valium. Yes, ma'am.
The cell phone that was destroyed, can any, using the phone records, any information be extracted from it?
I'm sorry.
The cell phone that was destroyed?
The cell phone was destroyed, okay. Okay. Destroyed. No, unfortunately not. I think it was destroyed beyond the ability to get anything from it.
Can you not use the cell phone number of the deceased to?
Use the what now?
The cell phone number that's associated.
We can get subscriber and toll information and any information that would be in the possession of, say for instance, if it was AT&T, we could subpoena them and get some information, but unfortunately it's not going to give you all of the text and everything that's very important to put these cases together.
Did Calvin say he destroyed it, or we don't know?
No, it was destroyed, we believe, on the day that Mr. Crone, we went out there when he succumbed, to the fentanyl overdose, and his roommate and a neighbor are believed to be the ones who destroyed it. And matter of fact, one of them has been charged with that, and I'll get you that information later. Has been charged with his part in destroying the cell phone.
Have we spoken to family members of Michael Crone yet? And
They have. The investigators have talked to him, yes. I don't know if they talked to him this morning yet or not, but I know they have up until this point. Our wishes were yesterday to get the charges put in place, the new charge of the murder, before he bonded out of jail. But unfortunately, you can only do it so fast, and we barely missed putting a stop to him getting out. So he had to be rearrested today, but it worked out well because he had more drugs and firearms. And federally, those firearms being right with the drugs is what they refer to in the federal system, ATF is 924C, using or carrying a firearm during in relation to a drug trafficking crime, which adds another 5 years on top of any other sentence.
did he have a similar record, previous record of distribution or anything like that?
I don't, not to my knowledge, not from what I saw. I didn't look at his full criminal history, so I'm really not sure on how to answer that. But I know in our jail records here, no. But he's originally from Dallas, and he's been here for several years now, I think. So that all that will be explored and put together when they're finalizing their investigation and turning packaged over to the district attorney's office for prosecution.
And between October 28th and November 19th, can you tell us that timeline before he was arrested and booked in the Smith County Jail for the first time?
Okay, any timeline to do with this investigation? Okay, detectives always keep their options open when they're doing an investigation like this. But unfortunately, another thing, we have only so many detectives and so many narcotics detectives. So they don't just work on one investigation. So we have to do as best we can to set something out there and go check on it from time to time. And finally, we got a opportunity to go further with that investigation and do the stop where we knew that he was coming from buying some more fentanyl from his source of supply. We've on the highway, we've located his vehicle and did a traffic stop and got the previous fentanyl and everything from day before yesterday, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. It was most recent, but from back when the October the 5th till then, there wasn't anything of significance that we're able to glean from the investigation. So we just got a break, and it worked in our favor, and that's the way it goes. Sometimes it's good for us, and sometimes it's not. But in this case, it worked out well for us.
And you talked about this earlier a little bit, but do you think this will be helpful in finding who his dealer was, who he originally got the drugs?
Oh, I believe so. And so many times, though, there'll be more than one dealer. But yes, any source of supply that we can identify, we will open up additional investigations on that.
What are we doing to try and stop the influx of fentanyl drug sales here in Smith County and Texas?
What are we doing to control the fentanyl in Texas? Well, right now, we can't control it. We can only work with what we got to work with. And the only thing that's going to control it is when we're able to close the border, because all fentanyl comes from China to Mexico to other points all over the United States. I've talked to numerous sheriffs all over New Jersey. They're having the same issues with fentanyl that we are. And again, all fentanyl comes from the cartels. So the open and porous border is where it comes from. And it comes there in many different ways. It comes there from the cartels using the coyotes to bring people across, and in their backpacks or whatever, they're carrying fentanyl and marijuana, cocaine, whatever, to help pay for their trip over here. And many times the people, the Mexicans, Venezuelans, or whoever, don't have a clue what's in that backpack. They're just wanting to try to make a better life for themselves, but what that does, it allows the violent people selling the drugs to come and get across as well and get all of their drugs across. And I've spoken before. I was on the clandestine methamphetamine laboratory team when I was with the Drug Enforcement Administration. I was stationed in Denver, Colorado. Back then, when I first started, methamphetamine was manufactured domestically here until the precursor chemicals for methamphetamine were stopped by the United States from coming here from China, and there was an unintended consequence that came from that. It would then go to Mexico, where they can unabatedly make it there, and able to do that is almost in a laboratory setting. The purity is higher, and they can make all the fentanyl pills. They can put fentanyl on other major drugs, and that's the key is to get the border stopped.
And I hate to make this political, but I mean, now with new administration, Republicans kind of taking over the House, Trump in office, do you think that's going to help at all, trying to stop this battle, closing borders, and then, lessening the fentanyl?
I'll put it this way. I hate to act, the only political race I usually like to talk about is my own. But I will stick my neck out there and say that I 100% believe if this election didn't turn out the way it did, the United States of America was not ever going to be as great as it once was.
Is there anything else you think, or
No, that's pretty much covers it. unless y'all can think of something else.
I just thought of something.
Yes, ma'am.
So you mentioned New Jersey.
Mm-hmm.
Tyler, compared to other places, including them, do you think we're seeing a worse issue, or are we all in the same boat when it comes to fentanyl?
Well, we're seeing more human trafficking. I think Texas is like number 2 in human trafficking because of fentanyl and other major drugs. But the deaths straight from the fentanyl, once it gets to all in the northeast, the northwest, the southeast and southwest, and in the central United States, once they have that system of delivering it there, it's just, again, it's just like so many people have their name on this tablet. You know, this is one, you might go through 5 or 10 or whatever that you utilize in utilizing the drugs, but you come along to one that's got your name on it and it's it. And even Narcan sometimes cannot stop it. I've seen where they've used Narcan 3 times back to back and were unable to bring them back. All right, appreciate y'all. And I will get this email to you where you have it digitally. Is it okay if I go and turn this one off?
Yes.